Hi and welcome to this edition of Join with Jen. So today I wanted to talk to you about the ASFA figures and the cost of living that have recently come out. So ASFA have come out and they've said, as a single, that you need to have at least $630,000 in your super to be able to afford all the regular income, irregular expenses, things like your utilities, your food, your cost of living, all of that sort of stuff. As a couple, you need $730,000. Now, why does that matter? Because as a couple, that's gone up by $40,000 from $690,000 of recent times, which means that you need to be actually planning for increased savings and increased super. So there's a couple of things that you can do to prepare yourself for this. Costs and why this has happened. Costs have risen a lot faster than inflation. So that's one of the reasons why this has happened. You can look at what you're spending and look at it with intention, not fear. What do I mean by that? Have a look and say, do I need that extra subscription, or do I need, the top level of subscription for this plan? Can I, do I only use, this much, data on your phone or your phone plans or that sort of stuff? A lot of people come to me and they say, oh, I've managed to save $20 a week because, we're not using that much data. So they've cut back a little bit. It all helps, and it all really makes a difference at the end of the year. So revisit your spending. Are you spending on things that really don't matter, or does it all really matter? Conversely, don't have a fear of not spending. And we talk about it in my book. The client that came in and was absolutely fearful of spending that he'd run out. He was fearful of investing into the markets because he was worried about a market crash. Don't be that person. You need to have a bit of a balance in life, and stay flexible. And what do I mean by that? Exactly, having a balance. So making sure that you're looking at what you're wanting to achieve and what you're spending and what your super actually and your assets really are worth. If you need some help, please reach out to the team. You don't have to do this alone. We are here. We do it all the time with our clients. We sit down and look at what they're spending, how they can cut back, or how you can spend more. How you can do these things and go on the trips and things like that have always been that lifetime goal. So if you've got any questions, please reach out to one of the team. We'd love to have a chat. Until next time, be safe and look after yourselves.